Hi, and welcome to your Urban Connection. Now, tonight I have a very exciting show that I want to bring to you, and it involves a situation that occurred last week in Rochester, Minnesota. And it's about a young white woman who is hurling racial insults, including the N word, at a 5-year-old child in a public park in Rochester. And that's our story for tonight. But before I begin the story, let me remind you of our sponsor, Barbecue Express, BBQ Express, and it is the latest and newest uh, barbecue restaurant here in the city. And I want to show you the location here. They're located at 6249 East 21st Street, and they're open from 11 a.m. until 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. until 8 p.m. on Friday and Saturday, and they're closed on Monday. Now, this is a full-service barbecue restaurant. They have everything that you would expect to find in a barbecue place. However, this is not a franchise. This is a locally owned restaurant that's been open for about 2 weeks now. And I want to tell you that at this barbecue restaurant, you can buy one barbecue rib if that's what you desire, or you can buy a half a slab of barbecue ribs, or you can purchase an entire slab of barbecue ribs. You also can purchase sandwiches, hot link sandwiches. You can get a 3-meat sandwich that has chopped brisket, and it has a hot link, and it has smoked bologna. 3 meats on one sandwich. That's not to mention that they have something else that you normally won't find in a barbecue restaurant, and that is turkey legs. Yes, you heard it right. They have turkey legs. So this is their address, 6245, 6249 East 21st Street. And I'll show you here I want to show you their menu just briefly here. And you can see that. And like I said, they have dinners in addition to the sandwiches. They have dinners and all of that that's available to you. So stop in 6249, and here is a copy of their menu. And there you have it. So they're open, as I said, 6 days a week, 11 to 7 Monday through Thursday, 11 to 8 Fridays and Saturdays. Telephone number is let me get the phone number because I've forgotten it. I'll give you the phone number at the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. So 6249 East 21st Street. Okay. Now, let's get on with the show, and I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to tell you about this story. This, like I said, is a story about a young white female who was in the public park in Rochester, Minnesota, and there in the park was a young black family with, I believe, 3 to 4 children. They're from Somalia. One of the children was 5 years old. Well, the family was in entertaining their 3 other children and didn't pay the full attention to the 5-year-old. But the 5-year-old was somehow or another in close proximity to this white lady who had an 18-month-old child. Now, the lady was found or caught hurling the N-word and other slurs at this young black kid. And here's the lady right here. And her name is Shiloh Hendricks. Okay, and I believe she's a resident of Rochester, Minnesota. Now, what she did is she was captured on video, hurling insults and using extensively the N-word for this young 5-year-old child who is autistic syndrome, by the way. Okay, so he's autistic. But she claimed that he stole something from her child's bag. Now, we assume that it was a toy or something of that nature. Certainly, a 5-year-old was not stealing money or anything of a material possession. And the other side of the coin is, ladies and gentlemen, from my standpoint, when you steal something, means you remove it from the proximity of where you picked it up at, or where you came in contact with it. He didn't do that. He didn't attempt to run. He didn't attempt to evade. He wasn't attempting to escape. Whatever it was, he stayed right there in the park where his parents were. But yet this lady claims that he stole from her 18-year-old child's bag. Well, as I get into this story, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand something, because I have a lot of problems with this lady's complaint, this lady's allegation, and I have bigger problems with her attitude and the type of racist attack that she launched not only upon this 5-year-old child, but also on a black male adult who began questioning her about using the racist language, which she then turned on him and told him to fucking, excuse my language, mind his own business. Okay? So let me get into this story here and tell you what happened. A white woman who was videotaped hurling racial slurs at a black child in Minnesota has allegedly raised over $600,000, and to date, it's about $675,000 that she's raised that has been donated to her. Okay? On a GiveSendGo website. Now, that's similar to a GoFundMe, but it's a different version. This is supposed to be a Christian site. The video, which was made its rounds on social media last month, allegedly shows Shiloh Hendricks calling a 5-year-old child the N-word while on a playground in Rochester. Now, the person who recorded the video, who was later identified as Sharmaik Omar, reportedly told NBC News that he knew the child and the child's family, and that the boy was on the autism spectrum. Omar can also be heard confronting the lady, Miss Hendricks, who is seen holding her own child while calling the boy the slur. Now, this is her child in her arm, and of course, they blocked out his face because of the fact that he is a kid, a child, okay? Just like the one that she was hurling these racial slurs at, okay? Now, let me read on. So she says to Mr. Omar, mind your effing own business. Hendricks can be heard shouting at Omar before claiming that the child took my son's stuff. When asked by Omar if the action warranted calling a little child the N-word, she replies, if that's what he's going to act like. Okay? Now, after going viral, Hendricks set up the GiveSendGo account, which she titled Help Me Protect My Family. On the site, in the page's description, she claimed that she was in a dire situation. My name is Shiloh, and I have been put in a very dire situation, she wrote. I recently had a kid steal from my 18-month-old son's diaper bag at a park. I called the kid out for what he was. Hendricks then claims that another man, who we recently found out has a history with law enforcement, proceeded to record me and follow me to my car, she added. He then posted these videos online, which has caused my family and myself great turmoil. Now, let me explain. She doesn't explain who her family is, who her family consists of, just me and my family. Now, I want you to understand something. I want you to listen to what she said here, because this is what they always do. She says that they recently found out that he has a history with law enforcement. Now, this is funny because this guy, she doesn't tell about what involvement was with law enforcement. We don't know that. But what we do know is this lady is uh no she's no she's got a history with law enforcement herself. And we know what those charges are. She's been convicted 3 times. And look at her. She's a young woman. She's probably in her late 20s, maybe early 30s, but more likely her late 20s. But she's been convicted for driving under the influence. She's been convicted of disorderly conduct, and she's been convicted of brawling. So who the hell is she to talk about a gentleman that might have had a history which she doesn't describe, and neither does the Rochester police describe what the history is? But that's what she's claiming. So basically what she's saying is she's claiming that my social security number has been leaked. My address and phone number have been given out freely. My family members are being attacked. Now, I want you to listen to this, ladies and gentlemen, because when I get into this a little later on, there's going to be some contradictory statements made by this same woman. Now, listen. She says, my family members are being attacked. My eldest child may not be going back to school. Even where I exercise has been exposed. In a post on May the 2nd, Hendrick gave a brief update on herself and her family. Where do I even begin? The overwhelming support that my family and myself have received is unbelievable. I've never felt so scared, yet reassured in my life, she wrote. And this is what they always go to. White woman or white male, I don't care if it's police officer, if it's a private citizen, whatever, white person, black person, especially a black male, but here in this case, 5 years old. And she's scared. What the hell is she scared of? He didn't steal anything. He didn't go anywhere. She didn't have to chase him down. Police didn't have to arrest him. They didn't have to find him. He was right there. Perhaps, and I don't know the facts, but perhaps he was playing with a toy that he might have pulled out of her son's diaper bag. If she's even telling the truth about that, because I'm going to prove to you that she's lying about some of the stuff that she's saying here. And furthermore, let me say this to you. She strikes me, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't know the lady. I've never seen her before this picture. She strikes me from what I'm entitled to, what I've read here, the information that I have on her. She strikes me as a single mother with 2 children, no job, more than likely on welfare. And when she initially set up the Go Send Me fund, her goal was $50,000. $50,000. But the money was coming in so fast that she went way past that on the first day. And guess what she did? She raised the goal to $1 million. Does that sound like somebody who's a victim of a criminal element here? Sounds to me more like she's a grifter. She's a grifter. She's low class. She has no character. She has no integrity. She is the instigator here. She is the one that probably should be facing some kind of hate charge or some type of a criminal charge. So let me read on. Now, I want you to remember what I said. She said that her family members were being attacked earlier, right? Listen to this. We are currently doing okay. No one has been harmed, and we are getting by, she added. We are taking the proper procedures in order to stay safe from these constant threats. I'm still very frightened, and I don't think I will feel safe until we can escape completely. I am so grateful to all of you who have donated to my family. I never would have imagined that we would be supported to such an extreme, she continued. I still feel if it's too good to be true, and it's all going to disappear. It's such a strange feeling to be living in a blissful dream and a nightmare simultaneously. Thank you for all your continuous support and love, she concluded. We have to keep fighting for the safety of all our families, not just mine. As of Sunday, Hendricks had raised $643,012 of her $1 million goal. What happened to the $50,000, Miss Hendricks? What did you intend to use that for? But it got good to you. You found out how many fellow racists were willing to support you based on the lies that you have told, ma'am, because you had an 18-month-old child who you claim that a 5-year-old autistic Black child took from his diaper bag. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the toy. I don't know if it might have been a diaper. I don't know. But you claim something was stolen. He didn't steal anything. Did he go anywhere? Did you have to chase him down? His parents were there in the park with you, ma'am. Why couldn't you go to them and say, hey, look, your child inadvertently took something out of my son's diaper bag. Would you mind retrieving it and giving it back to my son or put it back in his bag? Or even better yet, ma'am, why didn't you let the 5-year-old kid play with, if it was indeed a toy? He was right there in the park in full view of you and his parents. Why didn't you let him just play with it? And then he would, I'm sure, return it. He wasn't attempting to steal it from the best I know. He's a 5-year-old. He's an autistic spectrum kid. But you see, folks, this is what young Black men in particular have to deal with starting at the age of 5 in this racist America. And yet, there are still so many people that refuse to admit that America is full of racist white supremacists. I'm not saying all, don't get me wrong, but there's more than our share, and we're seeing the results of this, because we got to understand what kind of mentality would people have to send donations anywhere near 600,000, let alone $1 million, to someone who is racist to the core and has the audacity to, in a public park, use racial slurs against a 5-year-old Black male. Now I want to tell you something that makes this all the more interesting. A few weeks ago, here in the state of Kansas, the Kansas legislature passed a bill that made it unlawful for anyone to commit or issue anti-Semitic statements or acts. But they refused to include in that bill the same thing and provide the same type of penalties and make it a law for these same type of acts to be committed against Black and brown people. Hell, what are you talking about? It's all discrimination. If it's anti-Semitic, it's discrimination. If it's anti-Black, racial slurs, it's discrimination, ladies and gentlemen. It's hate crime. If it's brown, it's hate crime. It's discrimination. What the hell is the difference? But yet, our state legislators refused an amendment that was proposed by one of our Black legislators to include Black and brown people in this anti-discrimination law. That's the kind of world we live in. Okay? But this woman, and I'm going to show you one other picture of her. This woman is, in my estimation, is nothing but a grifter. She's a racist. She's wanting to claim herself as a victim. She's no dadgum victim. Okay? She's a liar if she's anything. Okay? She's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, white female who thinks that she has white privilege and thinks that she has the right to throw around racial slurs to young 5-year-old kids, let alone adults, and nothing is going to happen. There will be no consequences. And then she's rewarded with $600+ thousand so far. And the latest count was $675,000, ladies and gentlemen. And a lot of this money was donated from people that clearly identify as white supremacists, people who hate blacks, people who take this woman's word for what she has made up in an attempt to get some money to help her to support her 2 young children, since she doesn't have a husband, and more than likely she doesn't have a job, and more than likely she's on welfare, and she wants the public to subsidize her welfare income. Okay? So she makes up a bunch of lies, and I've proven it here. She contradicts herself. She first says that her family was being attacked, and then she turns around after she received the money and says nobody's been harmed. Well, you can't have it both ways, Miss Hedrick. Which is it? You're lying one way or the other. Which is, are you lying about your family being attacked? And by the way, what is the makeup of your family besides yourself and your two children? Are you being attacked? Are your children being attacked? You've never made mention about a husband. So what is the makeup of your family, ma'am? You are nothing but a liar and a cheat and a welfare queen who's looking for a handout from the innocent public. And you're making a fool of yourself and those ignoramuses who are contributing to your GoSendMe account. Stand up, man. You could be accused of and found guilty of making false statements and using racist, hateful, hate-filled comments about this young man. And you're sending an awfully bad message to others who might want to emulate what you do. Remember when back in the 50s and 60s, white females claimed that anytime something happened, they blame it on the black male, the black man. A black man raped me, a black man whistled at me, a black man assaulted me, a husband said a black man attacked me and my wife. It was always a black man. These times are different, ma'am. Okay? You simply just cannot make those statements anymore and expect the black man to be unjustly punished, and yet you're stooping to the level of issuing those kind of same similar accusations against a 5-year-old black autistic child. Shame on you, Ms. Shiloh Hedges. I hope that the money does you well, but I also hope that you are the victim of a lawsuit filed by this young 5-year-old child's parents, and you are made to give up every bit of the money that has been donated to you, ma'am, because you are a disgrace to society. You will get what's coming to you. Okay? And that's my show, ladies and gentlemen. But I hate to do these kind of shows. I really do, because it shows the dark side of America. And it shows the side that so many people want to deny that even exists. But this is proof right here that racism is still alive and well in America, and especially if you're Black. That's my show. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.